Okay, this video is from the Chip Gopher. I'm here today to introduce you to the basics of poker and learning how to play on small tables. We're doing small table, small blind, 25,000, big blind, 50,000. Currently the table only has about 4 people at it, so it'll give you an idea of a heads-up play. We're going to go through some of the basics to look for, what to keep an eye on, and try to overall see how things are handled in this size poker game, and for that low limit small 25-50. You'll find that people at this level will stay in pots longer and will give themselves a chance to try to suck out on you, draw out on you, hit the turn, hit the river. The person here might have a 10. You got 2 people in front of me. My kicker is pretty small, so I might be in trouble here with the King 5. If they check it to me, I'll check it down too. He represents a 10, so there's no sense in wasting $400,000 to figure that out. One of the things you want to do is pay attention to what the players have, what they show, what they represent. Don't expect everybody to bluff all the time. People do get cards. It happens. You know, you just have to minimize your losses and manage your monies and your time at the table. So it's really important to do that. Practice on what you think they might have. See how right you are. It might not be right 100% of the time. The pros have problems doing it 100% of the time, but they're pretty close. They can tell heads up what most people have. If you notice, I'm just sort of waiting my spots here. Big separated 5-9. No reason to try to stand up and do harm to yourself here, just because of a situation to where you're not gonna find anything connected. You're not gonna get a 6, 7, 8. It'd be a lucky flop, and you wasted your flop on that. Had a pair of queens in the pocket. See what I mean? So wait your turn. Wait to see what happens. Queen 7 is not a great hand, but it is connected as far as suited. So if you see here, I'm completely out of this hand. There's no reason to continue. I've got the second high card, spade draw on me. I'm totally in a bad situation there, so you just want to get out of it. Don't prolong your agony, acting like that 7 is going to turn into a full house or something, or a straight, because they might have flushed you on the flop, which I see. 10 jack. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Keep an eye on what they have. Okay. Now I'm in the big blind. 50,000 is my ante. Nobody raises me here. Not worth a 10-8 to go head to head with somebody. That's not even connected. Doesn't make sense. Why waste your money? Pick a better battle. Ace 4, small kicker. If I get the opportunity to limp in, I'll limp in and just see if I can. Now I caught one. You have the opportunity for a flush here. I've got the low card of the 3. You know, 50,000 is not much to call to see. If you notice, that would have been an ace. I would have been in the driver's seat. They check it up. So he's representing a big card here. Might be bluffing. You know, he might be trying to draw his flush out, but it's not worth it to try to catch yourself in that situation. Okay, Queen Jack. Big hand. I'm in the right position. I'm on the button. Good point to raise here with a Queen Jack. Let people know that I'm at the table, here to gamble. They want to throw something in there. There we go. Not here to play around. So I got some big blinds back. Gave me a chance to show that, hey, If I catch a set of cards, I'm going to go in on them. So they'll probably say, hey, this guy's going in on nothing. Keep an eye on him to try to get me on tilt. That's exactly what you want them to think. Let the cards defend your position. All right, 7. Somebody could have pocket 7s, even limped in with 7 deuce or something, so doesn't do any good to all right, no dog in that fight. Queen high, never caught a pair. Lucky enough to even see the turn. That's how bad my hand was. King jack. Gonna limp in. I got a chance to catch a flush here, but not to risk a lot of money in case somebody's got an ace. Okay, nice. I like that. Somebody comes in for 100, puts me on the dime. Now all I need is a good flop, and I can take position from him. And I got 4 people in there with me. You see, I'm not in a position. I can't even have a flush here, so I'm out. No reason to stay in there to try to get a 10 and an ace to make a straight. So he was the original raiser anyway. So he had either a small pair or caught something on the high end, the queen on the pair. Okay, I got a gut shot straight. Both of my cards are over cards, so it might be worth it to see how things go. All right. See if somebody's setting a trap for the 9s. Wow, it's hard to fold this, but I don't have a situation or catch a gut shot. He could have a 9 or a pair, one of these paired up. Okay, normally I would fold this hand, but since I'm in the big blind, if I get the opportunity to go ahead and see a flop, I'm going to check it and see the flop. You notice I'm, even on a flush, if I flushed it, I'm on the low end, so all it takes is somebody to all right, pair of 3s, pair of 10s, high card wins. I've got 2 of the lowest cards on the table currently. If it comes down to me, I don't even like to show cards when it gets this far up. So I'll fold here. I don't even want them to see what I had. And people say, well, why would you do that? Well, I don't have a pair. I don't have the high card. The high card hit. If it splits, so what? Sometimes the value of what's in your hand is better to keep a secret for later. And he had a king, so it didn't matter. Same thing, big blind. Going to check into it, get in with a jack 7. Not a real good hand at all. They're not even suited. So I've been raised up. Not interested in that. Very possibly he doesn't have a king, but if he does, he just, well, if he does, he just hit 4 of a kind, or I would have had the full house. Or he could have a pair that's higher than 7. And this person up here is representing pair in the 7. Let's see if they've got a higher pair or a 7. He's trying to take the pot. Oh, come over the top of him there. He had the 7. So see what I mean by trying to compare what they have. Even online, people say you can't do it. I've done it a couple of times in a row, and it's not that hard. That's what I want to teach you guys how to do. Ace 4 in the small blind, it's worth seeing a flop. I can check into it. No harm, no foul. Okay, he's representing a pair. Don't know if he's got high pair. The guy over on the side is getting bet into every time. So yeah, see what happens. He had a king, but the guy hit. A lot of people like to hold their position here. I'm going to fold it. I mean, I like to be in position, but a jack deuce doesn't do anything for me. That only hurts. So if you notice, the guy in the previous hand before had ace jack, jack high, so that overran his high card in the two pair. Okay. Even though I floated jack deuce, would have won the hand, but not in a position to really take power with possible tens hitting a set. Okay, so the jack seven here is not a great kicker, but they're suited. So here we go. Would have loved to have connected jack 10 there. That's really a good hand. You get a connector. A suited connector is the next highest. Helps out tremendously. You see that I'm off the flush, so all of this means nothing. And I don't mind showing a jack seven earlier. I folded so they couldn't see my cards, but I don't mind folding it, holding it. You see, I was high card anyway, so I held it there because I wasn't a 2-5 like earlier. 10-5 suited. If I can get in there for 50, I'll see the flop. He raised me. No sense in trying to do it. It's not connected enough. So me limping in cost me 50 grand, but here we go. And what's really interesting about that is folding to somebody that raises. They really want to get some takers, or they're trying to cover their small pair. And that's frustrating when you want to get ahead in the fight. That's really difficult. Now you saw that I hit the inside part of the straight. Now I would have hit a straight with a 3-4. That's a perfect hand unless you get flushed out on the river, or pair the board and they've got a set which is on the board. So you got an 850 over a 200. Came back over the top of him, his queens. So would have taken both of those hands because the straight would have beat the three of a kind. King 7, not a great kicker, but it is suited. Well worth seeing a flop. Okay, I'm not even going to hesitate. I'm going to go ahead and bet. Let people know that I represent the king, and put me even in a better spot because I like that I could flush out. So I'm sitting on a possible flush. All right, so let's go with the pot and see if he drew out on me. Nope. King 7. He was trying to flush, or he had two pair. The river saved me there. If you notice. A lot of ads seem to be popping up. I'm getting all kinds of points or qualifying for points. 10-8. Let's sort of see what we got here. Would have loved to have 10 jack. Really not. The only reason I stayed in that position is I'm on the button. What would have been well worth it if I'd have caught something in the low cards. But you notice that that's not a great hand to stay with. But being on the button, getting in for 50 grand sort of gives me an option. You notice all I'm trying to do is increase. I'm not trying to break everybody at the table. You start with 4 million. I'm up to 7 million. Just try to play your hand, move through it. Ooh, two nice aces. This is a tough one. Doyle Brunson likes the smaller suited. I'm not a big fan, and he's a much better player than I am, but I am not paying $875,000 to see 2-3, because if I flush it, somebody could have every overcard in the deck. So look, you notice ace queen, I had no chance. I had a 2. So that's just a money drawing situation. And you see them leave when they get they stay on goofy stuff like that. He had a great hand. Mike should have won that hand. That's his guy's name. The other guy leaves all aggravated is because he hasn't got the patience to sit here and play the game. This is just a game. All it is numbers. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You just have to know the suits, the cards, the connections, what you can draw to, what percentage of cards that you have left in the deck to hit what you need to hit. And we're not going to go into that in depth currently. The reason being is that's a much more advanced level. This is just a small, someone wanting to learn and have a good education on how to play poker, how to what the small blind, big blind represent, a table where they might go in and do some crazy stuff over the course of just a $25,000, $50,000 big blind. Sounds like a lot in real money, but at one of these tables, it's not a lot. You got millions. If I showed you how many millions I've got, I'll be playing in a high table, and the pot will be 10, 12 million. 6-3 offsuited, terrible hand. Check into it. It's all I'm going to do. If I can get in there, if I can't, I'll check fold. See, there's no way that I want to battle heads up with a 6-3. Now, what I'd like for everybody to do is to make sure to put comments, subscribe, like the video if you like it. Just go over some good commentary. Give me some good feedback to let me know what you think about this video. And it helps out a lot for me in the future and what I'm trying to help accomplish through our channel. Jack 4, definitely not worth representing. $250,000. If you notice, I haven't regretted folding. Sure, I've got two hands I would have sucked out on and won. And what that means sucking out on is catching something on the turn or the river. But haven't had to worry about either one of those. Queen 9. If they're going to let me limp in, I'll limp in to see what I got. Still got 2 overcards with a queen. Love to have Queen 9 of clubs there. Okay, here we go. Somebody's got a 7. They just drew a straight. See if somebody's going to represent a 7. Okay, well, Vanessa either is a good holder of a poker hand, 7, or has a deuce. Good play there. Even if you don't have the 7, pretty good position to gamble. I was only one person behind her, which was me, that might have a 7. And okay, ace 8, me being on the button, well worth my fight. She's fighting to try to keep me out of it. Either she has a nice ace king or a smaller pair. Well worth it to see the flop. All right, I'm out because I didn't catch anything there. So she had a pair in her hand before the flop. Not a great kicker, but ace 8 suited, like it. Gonna call with that. See if I can't flop me something that goes to a straight. Oh, not a straight, a flush, I mean. All right, didn't get that. Got the wrong color reds. But in the middle of a... so he's representing an ace or one of the higher cards there, so betting into us. Or he just called a flush. You'll see by a large bet. Big bet, caught the flush. I have no chance of competing against that. Let him have it. See, most people think they've got an ace pair that they're going to win every time. That is not true. Watch the board. Pay attention to what's happening with the board so you know what to do. Why give away more money when somebody absolutely sucked out on you there? He catches a spade there, probably makes a smaller bet. I stay with him. Because if he doesn't catch his flush, then I'm in the driver's seat. All right, anybody with a club has this. So there you go, the number 5. The other guy had a 10 from the beginning. All right, here's one where you want to move high enough to keep people out. Take some blinds. If they don't stay out, represent a big hand to start with. And see what I did there? I wasn't trying to limp in and let something come over the top. When you got a middle pair like that, you need to represent and get the small and big blind and move on. It's not about laying traps in a table that's low like this, 25, 50,000. You're laying a trap for yourself. And the reason I say you're laying a trap for yourself is because you notice I folded there. I have nothing that can pull out from 3 diamonds. Just the odds are way against me. There's way more diamonds left in the deck. There's an overcard. There's just no way to really get involved in this hand except for spending more money to try to suck out on something. So what I like to do, okay, pair of 4s, and I am in a situation where the button, I'm first to play. So I'm just going to try to limp in. I don't think I could have much of a winning hand here. I'll check it because I'm first to play. Anybody behind me would have called the high raise. So let's sort of see where we're at. I'd like to flop a set. For 50, it's worth saying one more card. But if I don't catch a 4 on that card, it's... I got a gut shot now. Oh, with a gut shot, I might do it. Nope. Now I've been beat. If anybody bets here, I've got to get out of the way. All right, very small kicker, but I'm in position. Not going to do 750 to show my ace deuce. Not a good idea. All right, Jack 6, same thing. Not interested in doing that. Let me see if I can get back on what I was talking about. Having people that are representing certain cards learn with a small table how to handle your chip size, how to handle what monies you have, how to manage playing the game. Small blind, big blind if you're on the button. Guy with ace king should have raised early. He got crushed on the flop. So the 10-4 might not have come in if he raised early. So if you want to get into showdowns, which is his name, oh, folded 4-8. There's 3, hit a set. If you want to get in a showdown like his name is, showdown, you will lose most of the time because that's how they suck out on you. You just let them limp in. It's nice to set a trap when you've got a great hand and you get it on the flop, but not when you're in a situation. Now it's 3 or 4 handed. I'm gonna come in for 50 grand. They check to me. I'm gonna represent. Nope. Probably had a Jack 10 as a guess on what theirs was, or a 2 pair. Gonna fold there. Vanessa seems to be a pretty smart player. Seems to know when to come in, when to raise. You know how many people are in the hand with her. Try to limit it to a certain number of people. I'd much rather showdown with one person than I had 4 or 5. They can draw out on you. And this is probably elementary for some people that are more experienced, but when they first put the first 3 cards down, that's called the flop. The next card is called the turn. Last card is called the river. You want to be careful as you're moving through that. to see. Now, Vanessa had sixes. She came in too light, in my opinion. She should have raised that up and made everybody represent that she had a big card. The person that won, you know, paired out on her with a higher pair. I call it the low pair, but I'm going to check into it and sort of see what's happening here. I'm going to bet it now, like I caught one of these other cards, or check to somebody else. So if they've got a 7 or an 8, I'm in trouble. Yeah, but I minimized my amount. So I checked to her. She played it smart on the river. She had a 7. It hit a king. All right, I'm going to narrow this down. They're coming in hot and heavy. Go up here for the pot. So the aces high card won, didn't lose anything there. No reason to stay here. I was just on the button. Wanted to sort of see where we're at with that. Don't have any cards. No dogs in that fight. So we're probably 25 minutes into this. Somebody's representing an ace here, and somebody either just flushed it. Vanessa had a mid. She might be trying to scare him off of it. Either had a 9 or a 10, and he flushed it. Okay, there you go. There's a perfect example of picking cards. I knew she had the high card. Was in the position to throw out the bet and trying to protect herself, and she didn't see the flush hit, and she's got to pay attention to that. Tried to bluff me out of it. I saw that coming the whole way. You don't go that high in on a king 10. There's no way to connect it. So see, that person's gone. You can't bluff somebody off of something. They had either they wouldn't have checked into the high card. So, you know, it's all about ego. That's where these people have their challenges. Put your ego aside and play your cards. See, I have no reason to be in this. Let's just get out of the way. Let them play. Because look, a 9, you're all in it. Now you could possibly get a set. Let's see if somebody represents a set or hit nothing. So 10 with the highest kicker. Nice hand. Not a bad hand for the big blind. Queen 10. Well, we're seeing it. Now, Jack Queen, you have to be careful of, but I'm going to bet it. I'm going to bet the pot. And if somebody's got a Jack or a 7, they're going to play along with me. So they're looking for, yeah, there you go. They're looking for so that person was looking for the whole time. You could tell they were looking for trying to connect their straight, and that wasn't going to happen. So I'm sorry I moved the screen there. It just keeps popping up all these points, mission things. 410, not even worth seeing. So if you notice, I'm staying around 6-7 million. I think I started with 4. So it'll go up and down. It's really not about how much money I'm winning right now. It's really about educating you on what to look for and how to play the cards and how to play the opposing players and what to read on. That helps tremendously. And I think you'll get a lot out of this video. There'll be a lot more videos to come that actually teach you more in depth. All right, I'm on the button, which is dealer. That's what that means. I'm on the button, and come on in for 7-8 just to see where we're at. If they were suited, so I've got a straight here. Now I just have to avoid the flush, and I'm gonna have to bet it, because if somebody's on a flush, I want to make sure that they don't mess around and knock me out of this thing. So I'd much rather just win this 300 grand out here than somebody to draw out on me and flush me. Okay, perfect. So that's exactly what I was trying to do. 10-3, not interested. See, if I limp in there and somebody's got a 7 deuce of spades, I look like an idiot because I limped in trying to trap somebody and I trapped myself. You'll see the TV players and professionals poise and take their time on that. Taking your time on this doesn't mean anything. Nobody's sitting here watching how long you take to place your bet. It doesn't mean anything. I don't care who you are. They're not sitting here timing how long that little spirally thing goes around and you place your bet. See, 3 to a straight is nothing. That does me no good. I like the connectors here. I wish they were suited, but I do like the connectors, especially king queen. Still got 2 overcards, nowhere near a flush, so the spades do me no good. But I'm gonna check into it. I'm not gonna represent. I'm gonna represent here. You know, just a little bit more in the pot so they know that I caught something. Somebody's got a spade draw on me, they'll stay. Or somebody caught 7-3 or 9-7 or a set. We'll see what happens. Okay, if they had a 7, I'm in trouble. Which they represent a 7. I'm going to call them. Oh, I missed the flush. That was my fault there because I missed the flush. I really didn't think they'd be in there with 7s. That's what threw me off, and I missed the flush. So, hey, even I make mistakes. So learn from what I just did there. I made a mistake and didn't see the flush on it. And I just had mentioned the flush. So, hey, even I get distracted. But it's no big deal. No reason to get tilted. Hey, it was just a $220,000 pot. Actually, I take that back. It was a little bit higher. It was 1.9 million. The last one was 220. I'm over cards except for the ace. Not even close to a flush, so I'm out of this hand. And one good thing to know is learn from what you think people have. I knew they had something, but I missed exactly what they had. I should have taken a little more time. A 57 wins this. I'm going to bet 100. Somebody will probably stay at 100. Yep. And I'm going to pause, even though I said it doesn't mean anything. I'm going to bet like I have something here. But I took a little bit of time to make them think about it. So they can't flush me. They only could have full house me. Now I'm going to go all in. And that makes them know, hey, this guy's not playing around. I let them limp around a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's like, not so much. You're going to have to pay to see my cards. King Jack with ace 4-5. Hopefully somebody has a 2-3. Gets them a straight. Try to suck somebody in here. I'm going to check to it. If they don't have an ace, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't go along. Not going along for the ride. Person was on the button. That took advantage of that too. King 7, not a great hand. Hopefully it's only going to be 4 or 5 handed. We'll see. Now this guy likes to bet, so notice this Danner likes to come in and bet and represent. So keep that in mind. Log that when you catch something, because he's going to bet. And I would have had a open-ended straight if I stayed with 100,000, but now he's like, uh-oh, somebody stayed with me and I didn't get him bluffed out. So he was going up higher. If the Johnny would have caught something there, this guy was in trouble because he was bluffing out the whole time. See, he's gone. He's like, almost got caught on that bluff. I'm out of here. So that's how this game works. And at the table, you can see that even. But you can see in electronics online. You don't have to have a face in front of you just to read it. 7 deuce, don't even like to check into this, but I'll get in there in case it flops something crazy. See, not even close. Not worth wasting my time. I'm out. All you can do is get in trouble. Your ego get involved. I like the 9-10 suited. Because you've got a chance of hitting a straight. You got a chance of hitting a flush. Got a chance of somebody's got a 6-7 there. They hit them a straight. They'll come over the top of me pretty hard. Somebody had a higher pair. I'm going to check like they have 5s, but they probably don't have 5s. All right, so I'm going to that's what I thought. I caught a full house top pair. You don't play around, go all in. No sense in playing games with them. I wait sometimes to hit this call. I hit it one day, and when I hit it, it had already changed to the amount they bet, and they raised me like all in or something. And I was like, oh, I didn't mean to go all in there, and I won the hand, and it was on junk. So I felt bad, but I try to play my position and play my hand normal and see what happens. So I really have nothing here. I've got the low pair on the entire board, and somebody out of all these people should have something. Okay, there we go. If it was 3 or 4 handed, I might have been okay, but you know, somebody's in there with a flush draw perhaps now. Let's see if they hit the flush or they've got a 2 pair. No, he hit the flush probably. There you go. Oh, that's rocket science. He represented it the whole time. Not suited, but if I can get in there for 50,000, see a flop. Now, I wish I had a 10, even though I'm on the low end side. Gut shot. How long do I waste money throwing it in a gut shot straight? So I'm going to go out. So my hand would have been nothing, any overcard of a 9. So a jack, queen, 4 wouldn't have beat me, of course, but we'll see where Delmer and Johnny fall. Okay, so he had 2 pair, jack 4. The 10s would have beat me also. So both of those hands would have beat me. I had no reason to stay in that hand. Okay, so we're about 40 minutes into this now, and I'm only going to make this an hour-long video. The reason I do an hour long is so you can watch through it. You can stop, you can come back to it, you can do whatever. You don't have to sit here a whole hour and watch, but I want you to pick up on the commentary, watch the hands, see how they unfold, learn from it, and grow your account. If you grow at 10% per session, you've done pretty good. You'll get times where people will come in and do all kinds of crazy calls, things of that nature, that you'll suck out on them, and you'll have good hands, and they'll get mad and leave. But what'll happen is, like I said, I go from 4 million to 7 million. I hadn't quite doubled it, but I'm not trying to double it. I'm trying to teach you how to play and grow yours 10%. So if you went in with $1 million and you came out with an extra 100,000 on a 25, 50,000 table, that's really very, very viable. You know, you only got to win a few hands and you're in. You know, look at this pot, it's 950,000. So, you know, you should win more than 10% of your pot per hand. But just know that at each session, if you walk away with 10%, that means you caught the ebb and flow perfect, and it didn't hurt you, and all you did was learn. If you got more than that, hey, that's a plus. If you got less than that, hey, pay attention to where you made your bad calls, or you went in with certain sets of cards that you shouldn't have, or you went one extra turn, or you went to the river for no reason, or hoping to hit a gut shot or something crazy like that. So just pay attention to those, and those will help save your chip size. Nice hand. Full house, 9s over 8s. And he had an 8, so it was 8 with an ace kicker. There was no reason not to stay in that either. But he left. So we've got a lot of new players here. Johnny's still here. Delmar's here. This guy's been a little bit quiet. He just won that, but he had to check all the way to it. Jacqueline's new here. Don't really have a feel on her. I saw her hold that guy to the fire a second ago to make sure that he knew she had a full house. But there's a couple of people on the table that we're not familiar with yet, so you just have to pay attention to how they bet, if they get on tilt really quick, what some of their situations are, and go from there. And for those of you that play the poker online, if you play on your phone, you can also play on your laptop. I normally play on my phone. I'm doing this session from my laptop to make it record a little easier. That way it's not I might not run into any signal problems on my phone. But it's really easy to do. Practice as much as you can. Earn the points. Get to a point where you might want to get in a tournament, but you need to set aside the time it takes to play the tournament. And when you set that time aside, just pay attention to everybody's hands. It's not about busting everybody. It's about waiting until you get a good thing of cards. All right, ace deuce. We've got a full group of people. I'm gonna try to see a flop here. A terrible kicker, but if I can limp in and see it with as many people as we've got and win just the ante for the big blind. Okay, so I'm going to bet the pot, let them know I got something here, because it's down to four-handed, down to one-handed, and I got it. So it worked out exactly like I said. I sort of limped in, was able to steal it with a high card, hit my pair on the flop, and had a terrible kicker. So somebody outside of ace, I was in trouble all the way. Okay, 200 is a lot, but if I got a chance to hit a flush, and I've only got one person and they're in front of me, I might call this just to see the flop. Okay, now if that was an ace of clubs, I would be driving. But he probably got an ace or a pair, and he's going to try to represent. All right, so this hand I'm sort of out of now, because I can't flush it. My king isn't going to do me any good. There's too many possibilities ahead of me. Okay, so there's a possible flush. 10 jack wins it. The true Jack one has a, oh, What's Delmer got? He just went all in trying to represent. Huh, that was pretty interesting. He might have had a straight. I don't think he would have been in that long with a flush because he didn't flop it, unless since he was betting ahead of us, he wanted to stay on it, and then he got lucky on the river. But you never know. It just went away. But just keep that in mind. That's why I got out of the way early. Do you see how they gave another extra million away? It was a $3.7 million pot by the end, and I got out of it pretty easily. My second bet was 50 grand. My first bet was 50 grand. So I had 100 grand to see if I could come off with something there. That's very good preservation for your chip size. Now a king deuce of spades would have just paid me pretty well there. Of course, it paired the board. Then you got a chance of a full house beating you. If somebody had a set of a 5, 6, or queen. All right, so Johnny represents, he's got the flush or a set, or thinks that nobody else has got the set, and he's got the 5 or a 6. See if he can bluff him out. He either had it or bluffed him, so that was good. All right, ace 10, well worth raising for. I'm going to make this one a little bit harder to go. Okay, so Jacqueline went behind me. See if Delmer's interested. Or Johnny. Oh, Olaf. Hadn't dealt with Olaf yet, and he's on the button, so he's in the driver's seat. So if I don't catch something on the flop here, I got a gut shot, but I'm gonna check to it. I'm gonna call him. See if Olaf caught something there. Okay. Nice hand, Olaf. So I'll raise them again, make it another 400 or 500 to go. They know I had a pretty good set. Okay, so some people just let it run out. I don't know what they're doing. Click on it if you're not going to be in it. I'm not impatient about it, but it doesn't mean anything. No, I have been distracted before and let it run out. Oh, I like that. I like that. David had a terrible kicker, ace deuce, went all in, moved all in on me, and I came over the top of him. That was stupid. So, sorry to call him stupid, but he's gone now. That was not very smart to do that, because as a showdown goes, you need an ace, jack, queen, king to beat me. All right, I'm out of this one. 6-3, I was in the big blind. Had some terrible cards. And by the way, this Victoria, whatever it is, looks Russian. It's almost like Victoria. I can't quite read it. Maybe it is Victoria. No, Victoria. He was trying to come in and play with us, but when he saw that I moved all in, he didn't want to risk the rest of his 900,000 at the time on what he had. He would have gone for a little bit, but he wasn't going to go all in, risk his whole chip stack. And you know, this isn't like tournament where you're bust out. So some people don't care about losing their chip stack. They'll move in on it. All right, here we go. Like I said, suited connectors, low inside, one of the Doyle Brunson hands that he likes. But that's probably because pros typically won't stay on a 2-3, and that's what he does to offset it. If somebody flopped a 6-7, I'm in trouble, because if I catch the flush, you know I'm going in on this. So I have nothing, and I'm out of the way, because a 2 or a 3 is not going to win this. All right, if I did the flush, I had them both beat, so it wasn't a big deal. All right, ace-8, I like this one, suited. Boy, I haven't come close to hitting a flush. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. A lot of all right, somebody's representing the queen. I'm going to bet the pot here, because either they've got a queen, or they're going to try to flush me, or they've got an 8 also. Check to me. I'll check it down, because an 8 might not be the winner. Because if I had a queen, my full house was not the best. Okay, queen 6. Good gracious, all these bracelet points. I don't know what's going on up here. I win these bracelet things, so rings and bracelets. So, dang shooters, you just start today. So somebody's giving some grief up here. Who's just asking that? Johnny 5. Oh, probably because he's a 3 and he's a jack. See, he's 3. 7 deuce. Not going to play that hand. You can see all the people here, and I'm going to go around the table. 87, 96, 40, 75, 180, 206, 3, and 10. You can see the levels that they play at, but there's really only 2 aces at the table. And that means that we've played the larger volume number of hands to achieve the high level of an ace. So that's important. Now, this account that I'm using, I don't have any bracelets because I haven't played in bracelets. I do have an account that has bracelets where I win the tournaments, but this one will give you a bracelet after you get so many points. And I think I've got 8 of the 9 chips or 9 of the 10 chips, something like, I think 9 of the 10 chips. So one more chip, which is not too far away, probably within the next couple of weeks if I'm playing on this account, I'll get a bracelet for that, and it's just earning it. And I think the number of chips I win from that's like $100 million in chips, which is nice. It gives you some cushion. I don't never buy chips. I just play with what they provide and manage it. It's not real if you just keep buying chips and you throwing money away and you're not playing like it's yours. Would have been awesome to see a king set. I'm never going to catch a flush here. I sound like Helmuth. Phil Helmuth. Never going to catch a flush here. What's going on? These cards are crazy. So I'm going to get out of the way of this with my king 6, as I haven't caught a pair, and it's jacks. So somebody is representing a 7, a jack, or another pair. Look how many people are in this hand. There we go, a 7. Look at that. Why are you in that hand with ace queen? You know they hit a pair. I don't know what people are thinking. They're like, my ace queen's so good. Well, I got 2 jacks, a 7, and a 3 on the board. Why are you even betting money? That doesn't make sense. That's what I want you guys to learn from this. I don't want to get on my soapbox here, but that's crazy. Don't be in there betting. Put your ace queen up. Save your money, so when you catch it, Now I've got a terrible gut shot straight draw that I actually just hit. So I hope somebody bets in front of me so I don't like the heel here. But I gotta bet to keep people off of it from a flush. And see people, oh, I like that. So I like that a whole lot. I'm gonna raise that all in. Because they're gonna either decide to go for a flush or not. Yeah, I busted two people. That pot was $9 million. And they didn't see that there was a possible straight there. So there's a perfect example. I'm 56 minutes into it, playing very patient, haven't misrepresented any of my hands, made one really good mistake and called somebody that I didn't see their flush hit me, and lost some money there. It gone from 4 million, 7, 8, 9. Give me a 10. If they'll let me check into this, I'll take a gut shot 10. No, I'm gonna check. I don't mind them seeing a Jack Queen to see that I stayed with something decent. All over cards. An ace or whatever is going to win this anyway, so, or a small pair to match it. And you're representing something. Why would I call even $50,000 with that? Doesn't do me any good. There you go. An 8-1. Pair of fives, 8, ace 3. So you're representing the high card. Didn't happen. Okay. So 6-8. So about 55 minutes into this, you saw that they were trying to muster up and bully around and didn't see that their overcards and their pairs of overpairs, they didn't look to see there was a possible straight. If they see there's a possible straight, they wouldn't have re-raised. They would have checked and then said, okay, let's see how this plays out and see if I can catch a set or catch two pair. Two pair are about your worst enemy that you could have. Okay, that guy rivered him. Queen 6. He was in with 6 pair of tens. Probably let him stay in too long. You got to push in on him. By not pushing in on him, you didn't challenge Paul to make a decision on the size of his stack. When you've got overcards and there's nothing on there that can help you, you need to get them making a decision on what you have, not what they have. There's one up here. I'm not even calling this. Look at the fly up here. I don't know what that means. That's great. That's a great image. So as we review what we've done in the last hour, I always try to keep these to within an hour so you can watch, come back and watch, see how the hands unfold. We went from 4 million to 11 million. Pretty good set of hands. I'd rather lose sometimes when I show you guys this stuff to show you when you can't catch cards, how you can still try to manage your size of your stack. This one I happened to catch a couple of people that on a hand that they really didn't see what I had, didn't think it out, didn't take the time. The ones that are really difficult, and you notice I didn't play a lot of hands. So if you look at the register of how long I played, how many hands I played in an hour, I probably did not play a lot of hands when you consider how fast this moves. So keep that in mind. You don't have to be in every pot. You can enjoy sitting here, hanging out, learn the game, guess what they have. I'm on the button, Jack 3 suited. So let's say a flop. Okay. Terrible kicker. Gonna call it though. Oh, look at everybody coming in. So I'm gonna limp in. Oh man, that limp might have hurt me there because somebody's got an ace. They're betting in front of me here. For 50, it's worth seeing. Well, I think I have a 0 chance of winning this hand, But if they keep it at 50, I want to see the cards. Oh, see, nice move. Now I like that. Paul, good man. Make them bet. Oh, Paul was bluffing. Now Paul's tilted a little bit. So now that Paul is tilted, I think that oh, I got 2 callers. I want to make it all in and keep just these 2. Now look at that. Busted 2 more people. Right in an hour. So, you know, Paul was a little happy to go in real quick there. Want to review that. I'm up to 13 million, so I made almost $10 million on this this hour. It was just laying weight, watching, knowing your percentages of what you've got that can hit, and playing your hand smart. So I hope you guys learned something from this. The next videos are going to be going up in value at the table. So I've got 25,000 small blind, 50,000 big blind. The next one will be 100,000, 200,000, and we'll move up the food chain and show you how people play differently with larger amounts of money, and you'll get a lot more true action. This table, fortunately, in the last hour was pretty true action. Nobody really got sideways. Nobody tilted off very much. It was a lot of comers and goers, but it was really a good time to learn. So thanks again, once again, from Chip Gopher. Hey, please like or subscribe. I'd love to see your comments below. Y'all have a great day and enjoy the flop.